Good morning. Hello, everyone. I think that we are welcome here together. Are we live? Can you hear me? It's 10 a.m. and I'm just going to check right over here really quickly to be sure that you can hear me. Yes, you can hear me. Great. I am watching myself. I'm not that vain, but that's my backup plan for my for my audio, and I'm trying out some new audio today. See, look, no earbuds. Yay. And I look fancy. I don't know how that happened. I literally, these are just comfy clothes. I look fancier than I should be. And I am not in a hall of doors. What I am is I'm in a little tiny space that's in between bathrooms. Anyway, but now that I'm in this space and I have a little bit new of a setup, I was like, I should probably explain where I am. And I'm Kristen, by the way. Welcome to Parent Power Hour. I'm so glad you're here. What we have going on today is what we try to do every day, which is for you as parents, to give you some tips and tools so that you can power up for yourself. And as we've been talking over the last few days, power is the definition, the kind of the idea that we're going with here is the kind that Martin Luther King Jr. refers to, and that is that you have the ability to affect change. And that anyone that has having power or generating power or leading with power, parenting with power is identifying the fact that you do have the ability to affect change going on in your lives, in your families, with those that you love, in your classroom if you're a teacher. And so that's what Parent Power Hour is all about, is to give you some tips and tools. I've been trying to start a little bit more on time. I've been trying to get our little preview screen in there so that now that those of you who kind of join us a little more consistently are used to the routine and you have a chance to get settled, get your kiddos in a spot. If for any reason I'm too loud, I might just adjust one. Let's see if I adjust this a little bit. I am trying out a new mic, so if for any reason I am too loud and it is kind of closer to me, so if I'm too loud, just let me know. I do tend to get excited about things, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm yelling. I'm so excited, I'm yelling. I get pumped up about stuff. So yesterday, if you were able to join us, you hopefully had a chance to sign up for this 90-day challenge that I'm a part of. Eventually, I would love it for NewMinds.tv to be the cheerleader, the forefront on something like this. For now, I'm inviting as well as encouraging any of you that are watching Parent Power Hour to join me in the 90-day challenge. It's referred to as the next 90-day challenge. Yesterday it was pinned to our comments there. I believe it's thehollisco.com/last 90 days, last 90 days. Even if you just Google last 90-day challenge, you can figure it out. But I wanted to check in with you to see, first of all, if you've signed up, if you're going for it. Second of all, how's it going? Day 2 of the next 90 days. I will probably slip into calling it the last 90 days a lot because the last time I did the challenge was the last 90 days of 2019. I did it from October, November, December, oh my word. And it made a huge impact on my life. And it's something that that helps you to sort of keep in mind the present that we're dealing with. And that's part of the reason why the Hollis Code decided to go ahead and do it right now. Because usually they just do it the last 90 days of the year as a way to, instead of spiral down into the end of the year and then start fresh on January 1st, why not go up to the top of the mountain, get all the way up to the top, and then when you're there on January 1st, you've already arrived and you have nothing to do but to go to the next mountain and get going over on that mountain. And that was probably not the best analogy, but that's something that I experienced, and people in the community, I mean, there's like 20,000, I don't even know. It's a huge number of people that commit to the 90-day challenge, and for this one, it's the next 90 days. And I love the fact that it's something that they saw. They listened to the people that they talk to. They listen to the community. They listen to the parents. They listen to everyone everything that we're all hearing. We're all hearing the same things. And, they did a lot like what New Minds is doing and saying, okay, what do we do? What do we do well? And what can we do to continue to offer that to our community? And I love that they've decided to just, we're going to put everything else on hold. We're not doing anything new, but what we are doing, hey Elizabeth, welcome in. I am kind of reviewing the last 90 days for like forever. It's not the last 90 days, you guys. This is not our last 90 days on Earth. But I'm reviewing the 90-day challenge. And it starts every day you start every day with your 5 to Thrive. And that's kind of the goal, as well as, they're going to have weekly challenges that you can get signed up for. That they will deliver to your email inbox that you don't have to do anything for. And for me personally, the way it resonates so much is that it helps me to think about goals throughout the day. It gives me, one kind of targeted theme to go for throughout the day for myself. And then as well as to know that yesterday was the first day and I already didn't do one of the 5 to Thrive. So I'll review those for you really quickly. Drink half of your body weight in ounces in water every day. And so this is what the 90-day challenge is. It's these 5 things. And so if you weigh 100 pounds, you're going to drink 50 ounces of water. I am working on my water. Yes, my water bottle says, drink the stupid water. And this is from their company as well. They should hire me. What are we talking about? I need to start getting paid for this. Yes, the next 90 days, not the end of days, Elizabeth. Yes, sign up for the next 90 days. They can be awesome. They will be awesome. So this is a very large water bottle because I don't weigh 100 pounds. So I have more than 50 ounces to drink every day. But that's the goal, is to drink half your body weight in ounces. Secondly is to give up one category of food or drink that is not good for you. That you just know. You know your body. If it's tortilla chips, if it's bread, if it's chocolate, if it's alcohol, if it's frozen peas, if it's whatever it is that is something that you consume to a point that you know that it's not exactly the healthiest choice for you, you give up that category of food. It's a lot easier to add something, which is the water, than it is to take something away. So I like that balance there as well. And for me, another thing I like about, I don't like taking away anything, but I'm human. But it helps me mentally to think about how I can break that down into 30-day increments instead of 90 days. Thinking about not having a glass of wine before, with dinner for the next 90 days is a little overwhelming for me because it is something that I see as like a treat or something I enjoy. But saying for the next 90 days, I'm only going to have one glass of wine at dinner, not before and not after, and no more than one. So that's one that's my personal food thing that I'm adjusting. Yep, Elizabeth says, I think I drink half my body weight in caffeine right now. That's a lot of caffeine, sis. And you know what caffeine is? It's dehydrating. I also, see, this is a good thing for right now. This is a great one because as teachers, and Elizabeth's also a teacher, as teachers, you don't have time to go to the bathroom, although she's high school, so she kind of does. But especially elementary teachers, you do not ever have time to go to the bathroom when you're with your students all day or whatever. So this is a positive benefit to being at home all day. And now you can just run to the bathroom, even if your little ones follow you there, that live in your house, not the kids that you teach. You can go to the bathroom as much as you want, and it's inconvenient. And if you're worried about toilet paper, you can sit there and drip. A little TMI. I know. It's Tuesday. What can I say? Is it still Tuesday? Yeah, it's still Tuesday. All right. So body weight in water in ounces. take away one category of food. And like I said, for me, it's a lot easier to think about things in 30-day increments. I was able to give up sugar for 30 days. Last time I gave up sugar for 30 days. I gave up simple or complex carbs. Simple carbs, whatever like all the white bread stuff is, like tortillas, breads, pastas, because that for me is it's not good for my body. I don't feel good anyways. It's definitely an emotional thing when I do end up eating those things, a lot of them. Okay, so then a third thing is to move your body at least 30 minutes a day. That can be a full-on 30-minute workout. That can be getting up from your desk and doing a 5-minute dance 6 times a day, because 6 times 5 is 30. That could be going on a 15-minute walk around your neighborhood if you're allowed to get out right now. I know some people in some parts of the world are on highly restricted stay-at-home requirements, and so leaving their actual place where they live isn't an option. Go out to your balcony, do 15 squats, walk around while you're listening to your favorite song. Something to just get your body moving. And this is not meant for losing weight. This is not meant to bulk up and get those muscles, but instead it is to recognize that when we move our bodies, we change our minds. When you move your body, something happens different in your brain. If you've been sitting trying to figure out a creative solution to a problem, if you get up and walk away from it. I just realized I don't have enough light on. Sorry. Is that better? Can you see me better? Oh, hi. I was so worried about my sound that I forgot about my light. Oh, so many things. We'll get to it. We'll get through it together. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. So move your body, 30 minutes. Yesterday, this is the one that I super failed on. Well, actually 2. So the third one, a fourth one, is to wake up an hour earlier than you usually do so that you have time for yourself. And that can be the place where you do your 30 minutes of movement or more. Nobody's saying it's only 30 minutes. If you do a 45-minute hot yoga session at home, crank up the heat in your wherever, please, by all means, go for it. I mean, that's not what this challenge is about. So that being said, those 2 things I bombed on yesterday. I didn't wake up an hour earlier. And if you were with me yesterday, it's because I revealed that I did not do well at going to bed Sunday night. I stayed up too late doing silly things like watching Netflix and scrolling on my phone, which are not things that are productive, right? So, but that was, okay, moving on. This is not a therapy session. I'm like working through all of my problems with you all, and you're probably like, come on, Kristen, move along. So another is that you wake up an hour earlier, and that's time for you. And a fifth one is that you practice gratitude every day, and you write down things that you're grateful for. At least 5 things. You write them down every day. So like this morning, I was back on my 90-day routine that I'm going to maintain. I woke up an hour earlier. Yay! I actually woke up 10 minutes before my alarm went off. I don't know why. I think because before I went to bed, mentally I prepped and I was like, okay, I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning. My alarm's going to go off. I'm not going to snooze for an hour and a half. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do my 30 minutes of movement and my gratitude practice. So that's what I do during that hour time before waking up an hour earlier. And you may find that gratitude practice needs to be at the end of the day for you. Or you may find that your movement needs to be sparsed out throughout the day. Basically, the idea is that do what works for you. Check in on those 5 to thrive. And another thing that I like about this challenge is that it's not meant to do it so that, you come out, skinnier or smarter or having read more books or no. It's to prove it to yourself that you can, that you have the power within you to reach your own goals. That you say, I have a goal to drink 50 ounces of water a day because I only weigh 100 pounds. And that may seem simple, but doing that every day What do they say? It takes 21 days to make a habit. It takes 90 days to change your life. 21 days to change your habits, and it can be 90 days to change your life. Not that that's like, well, if you mess up one of those days, you got to start all over. No, no, no. Start every day new. And that's part of what we are doing here as well together, is that every day we get to start over. We get to learn the lessons from yesterday. We get to learn the gaps that we may have left along the way. And we get to step into something new today. So what we're here for today, our little Parent Power Hour session, the question is, do you have energy? Do you have energy? Do you even have energy to think about those 5 to Thrive? I mentioned that I was doing this challenge with a few friends, and they're like, girl, I don't even have energy to walk over to the refrigerator and get more water to fill up my water bottle. I am wiped out. This stay-at-home thing, I'm a parent and a mom, and I'm a parent and a mom, that's the same thing. I'm a parent and I work, and like people are just, and we're kind of settling in here, right, to a little bit less than, some of us have been in this for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Those of us who are over here in the Dallas area, we're coming into week 3 now, and it takes 21 days to make new habits. And we're starting to get into these new habit areas, some that we like, some that we don't like. So the challenge yesterday that I gave you, and you're thinking, and I just want to check in and see how it's going for you. Are you starting to move from me to we? This actually started with talking more about our kiddos and how the people that we interact with, whether it's our children or other relationships that we have in the home or via WebEx meetings or virtual, whatever you're having, is that when we start to shift our thinking from me to we, then we have a better chance of maintaining those relationships. We have a better chance of having the kind of relationships we want to have, having the kind of interaction we want to have. And a lot of that is to be able to verbalize, like we worked on last week, naming it to tame it. And then also to recognize in yourself how you respond, how it is that when someone asks something of you, when someone shoots you an email that's like straight to your heart because you are trying your best, you are giving your 1,157,000% bestest, and you get that email that's, a parent complaining about the way that you approach some lesson that you worked for hours on, and they can't access the tech side of it, and they're upset at you. It seems like they are, and so they lash out at you over email, or it seems like they are, and you're interpreting all of that, and you're upset because you put so much hours into it. The parents are mad because they're we've got all of the sides of things going on here, and how are you responding to those things? I meant to pin this back, but I didn't, and so I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to keep pushing it out of my face so you can see my face. So how are we handling those responses? What do we say to those things? Are you maxed out already? I mean, technically we're 3 weeks into this. This is our 3rd week here in Dallas. Are you already maxed out? Are you ready for the next 90 days? I'm not saying that what we're doing in this Corona life, that it's going to be 90 more days. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, Corona or no Corona, are you ready for the next 90 days? Are you ready for today? Are you ready for tomorrow? Are you ready for the next hour? And I may be freaking you out also with asking you all these questions. That's why we're here. We're here so that we can take a moment and say, okay, I'm going to ask myself all these questions. I'm going to get it out of my head. My mind is meant for having ideas, not for holding them. If I'm holding all of this, I am waking up at 3 a.m. I am waking up 30 to 40 minutes before my alarm is still supposed to go off, not because I'm excited to get up and do my gratitude practice and do my fitness routine, but instead I'm stressed out already about the things, right? So we've kind of unpacked some of those things and some tips and tools for how to handle that stress and that overwhelm in our first few episodes, episode 2, episode 3. If you go back to newminds.tv and scroll down to the Parent Power Hour section, you'll find some topics that are going to go a little bit deeper into that. But today we're talking about how are you responding to those things? Do you catch yourself saying a lot of times, I just don't have time. I don't have time. To what? And I'm not questioning that you do or you don't have time. What I'm offering is and hoping that, or really curious about what might happen with you internally, is that if you shift, I don't have time, to it's not a priority right now, how that becomes a lot more in line for yourself internally with the things that you've identified as being important. And then also to those that you end up saying that to. So when that parent fires off that email to you that just sends you through the roof, process your emotions, acknowledge it, name it, to tame it, do all the things we worked on last week. Then when they come back to you, then you're already emotionally, and especially in an email, take the time. Take the time to respond. Get your SFD out first. You know what that means? Family safe. It's sloppy first draft. You fill in the S on the not family safe version of that. But get your SFD out, tell your story, then take a step back and respond to that email. But we don't always have that luxury of email. What if we're in the home with someone? What if we're on a virtual meeting with someone? And they're like, hey, we need you to do this, and we need you to do this. And instead of saying, you know what, I'm looking at my schedule, and I don't have time right now. Pause. See if you can redo that, and even say that to them. You know what? I apologize. I told you I don't have time. I'm working on this, and what I'd like to say instead to you is it's not a priority. Here are my priorities. When I accomplish those priorities, or when I'm doing things that feed into those priorities, and I've gotten to the point where I'm at a level that I have set out to be, I'm just careful not to say expect. See, I'm practicing too, right? Then I can look at the request that you've made. Okay? So that's a little bit of a review from yesterday. And the kind of connection I'd like to continue with today is something we also touched on last week, which was, instead of how am I feeling, this feeling of overwhelm, this feeling of emotion, instead of that, what are you feeling? And you can set that intention also in your conversations. When you find yourself getting overwhelmed, reset your intention and identify the feeling that you want to have. And then today I'm inviting you to take it to the next level and to say, instead, how will you generate these feelings? What are you going to do? Because you want to feel a certain way. You want to feel clear about your priorities. You want to feel accomplished. You want to feel satisfied in the interactions that you're limited socially to have. You want to feel that you have a handle on things. So how are you going to generate that feeling? You have to generate it. You have to choose. You have to decide. You can't just wait for someone else to come around, especially right now when so many of us are socially isolating. You can't wait for someone else to come around and be like, oh man, you got this, I'm here for you. I got this for you. Watch this as many times as you need. That's the beauty of this being accessible for you on NewMinds.tv. I believe you got this. And if you haven't picked that up in any of my other talks with you, I hope you know that. Like, you got this. And that's what these talks are for, is to continue to remind you that you got this. You already got this. You have everything within you that you need to be the person that you want to be, to have the interactions that you want to have, to live the life that you know that you were meant to live. That's why when we did our identifying our why exercise a few weeks ago, episode 2, episode 3, was one of the early ones, we started right off with identifying your why, because when you know that, then that comes back to everything that you have to do. And so you are also more clearly able to generate the way that you want to feel. And that could even be part of your morning practice. And I'm just coming off my brain right here, right now. This is That could also be how you set your day up. Today I want to feel. Today I will generate these feelings by doing what? I'm going to read off some interesting things to you. And at the end of your day, it is helpful and valuable to rate yourself, to think about instead of laying in bed at night and thinking through all the things that you shouldn't have done that you didn't do, or instead of running through your to-do list of all the things that you want to change about your life because today didn't go the way that you wanted it to go. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I'm always thinking about, how do I want to change my life? Is that just me? Come on, you guys. Help me out here. I know it's not. I know we all lay in bed at night and we're like, yes, we go through the list of things, but then we also think about how we feel about those things, right? I don't feel good about what I said to X, Y, and Z. I don't like the way that I flew off that email. That person really made me mad because they did. And what that's doing is you're interpreting, you're kind of going through the way that person made you feel. So instead, let's keep going in our brain, if you're doing this at night, laying in bed, and go, okay, well, why did I let that person make me feel that way? And instead, how can I generate the feelings I want to have? I wasn't in that zone that I wanted to be. I would probably give myself a 2 on that. So tomorrow my goal is to go to a 3, 1 out of 5. Think about your interactions. Think about the priorities that you have, the feelings that you have, and especially when we're talking about the energy that you have, because those things are related, right? And we'll get to that in a second. So rate yourself on statements such as these, and this is from High Performance Habits. I have the mental stamina to be present and focused throughout the day. I have the physical energy I need to achieve my goals every day. In general, I feel cheerful and optimistic. If you were to stop right now and rate yourself 1 to 5, I'll read through them again and give yourself a little score in your head. I have the mental stamina to be present and focused throughout the day. I have the physical energy I need to achieve my goals every day. In general, I feel cheerful and optimistic. Okay, we also reverse the score with statements like this. My mind feels slow and foggy. That would be because you gave yourself a 1 on that first. On the physical energy one, I am physically exhausted too often. That would mean that you gave yourself a 1. In general, I feel cheerful. The opposite of that would be I feel a lot of negative energy and emotions. So if you can't say, in general, I feel cheerful and optimistic, then the opposite of that is to say that, you're actually feeling a lot of negative energy and emotions. And you notice that in these statements, they're not just about the physical energy that you have, whether or not you have the energy to get up off the kitchen table and walk across the room and get more water to meet your 5 to thrive. That's the physical. But a lot of this is the mental, which, oh my goodness, yesterday when we talked about emotional fatigue, right? I mean, this is a mental game. We are moving into a mental game territory. If you're in the part of the world that you've already been in this for a few weeks, you're already in this territory. And you've already recognized, wait a minute, there's so much mind over matter. Low energy, this one's powerful. Low energy correlates with lower overall high performance scores. If you the lower that your ratings are in energy, and this means your mental energy, the lower your overall happiness, the lower your enthusiasm for taking on challenges, the lower your perception of your own success versus your peers' success, how hard are we on ourselves, right? The lower your confidence in the face of adversity. And you may not find every single one of these is true for you, but I bet you can identify with 1 or 2. That when you have a low energy about your physical exhaustion, the negative energy and emotions that you feel, you're actually lowering all these other energy levels as well. Things like the lower degree of influence that you could have with others. The lower the likelihood that you'll eat well or exercise. Whoa! Think about how many of us have just I'm spent. There's way too much information flying at me about the end of the world. There's way too much information flying around about me, about not leaving my house. And emotionally, that fatigue is there, that emotional fatigue, that empathy fatigue. If you're a parent, you're constantly pouring into your kids, and you're like, you know what? Whew, my energy is spent because that emotional energy that you have is going. And that 100% correlates to that mirroring neuron that we spoke about yesterday. It not only hurts low energy, not only hurts your ability to reach high performance overall, but it pervades all aspects of your life. I'm still reading here. You feel less happy. You don't take on the big challenges. You feel as if everyone is passing you by. Your confidence tanks. You eat worse. You get fatter. You struggle to get people to believe in you, to buy from you, to follow you, to support you. And of course, everyone can flip into all of these, can slide into all of these. But of course, the flip side also applies. If you increase your energy, then you improve all of those factors. Energy is also positively related to educational attainment, creativity, and assertiveness. So, what do? What are you doing to generate the energy, to generate the feelings that you want to have? Because here's one of the huge takeaways I have from him, from Brendon Burchard. We got to stop waiting. We got to stop waiting for somebody else to come along and make the energy for us. You got to stop waiting for good energy to come into your life, and you have to start generating it. He has this concept that we don't have energy like a power plant. A power plant doesn't have energy. It generates energy. It puts out the energy to those who need it, those who need to survive by it. And so we are the same. We're not a power plant, but we function a lot like one. We have a lot that we're taking in. And what are you doing with what you're taking in? Are you switching it around? Are you flipping it so that you can use it to generate the energy that you need? How do you generate energy? By thinking positively, by having mental stamina to stay present and focused, by having physical energy and goals, by drinking your water, by moving your body every day for 30 minutes, by practicing gratitude, by, what were the other ones? I just forgot. I was on a roll, and I was like, I'm on the roll. I'm going to get them all. But that's how you generate the energy. When you're like, Kristen, I don't have energy. You don't have energy. You are 100% right. You do not have energy. You generate the energy that you need to have to be better prepared for whatever tomorrow holds, whatever today holds. Because I had a really good, this is it. This is the good one. This means that you don't wait for joy. You don't wait for motivation. You don't wait for me to come here to you every morning and be like, okay, well, I'll just wait till tomorrow morning. Kristen will pump me up again and I'll feel better. And then she'll make me feel worse because of all the things that I should be doing that I'm not doing. And then I'll just start back over again and I'll feel better. And no. You don't have to wait for this. You don't have to wait for the end of Corona. You don't have to wait for when you have a better handle on the technology that you're trying to manage with getting all your lessons out to your students. You don't have to wait for having a better understanding of how you can manage your children's learning as well as your teaching, as well as your spouse's work in their house. You don't have to wait for that. You don't have to wait for the excitement. You don't have to wait for the joy to come back. It's not like when Corona's over, bing, we're all going to be happy with life again. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for any other positive emotion in your life. You can choose to generate it on demand, anytime you want. And that's through the power of habit. That's through checking in, rating yourself, saying, okay, that wasn't great. So tomorrow I'm going to get up again and start again. And tomorrow I'm going to be sure that I get my 5 to thrive in. And I'm going to be more aware of my priorities and all of the things that you have in your head. And that's by creating habits. That's by recognizing in yourself that you already have habits. You already do. That's why you are where you are at right now, because of the energy habits that you've already been in practice for your entire life. So why not switch those habits to something that's actually going to pay off in your relationships, in your productivity, in your satisfaction with life, in the service that you have to give to others. Um, yeah. So there's three big practices that high performers and people who are able to, which are all of us, that's why you're here. There's three practices about what you can do to maintain your energy. I've given you some tips already about your morning practice, about the Five to Thrive. Sorry, I was like, where am I going in my head? I have this like person that's up here. It's not my negative self-talk person. It's like my teacher brain person, and my teacher brain person is like, Kristen, don't forget about. I need a name for my teacher brain because it's not Kristen. Um, anyway, so thank you for hanging with me on that today there at the end. I'm still a little bit choppy. But ideally, what I want you to know is that you already have everything that you have. It's a matter of are you making it a priority? And if you answered no to that headline question that's up at the top that I said, do you have energy? Then the next question is what are the ways that you're going to generate the feelings and the energy? That's it. That's the end of that question. And at the end of that question is, in what ways are you going to generate the feelings and the energy? All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in today here on NewMinds.tv. Our goal is always that you are following your heart and your passions every day, and that they become a part of who you are, they become your talent, and that no matter what we're experiencing here together, that it's real and inspired for you so that you can take those into the areas of your life that mean so much. Thank you. Elizabeth says less social media. Yes, I think I can hear that you're saying I'm going to generate these feelings by consuming less social media. Yes. I actually said in our meeting this morning, on our New Minds team meeting, I was like, you guys, I don't even like Facebook. I don't like it. But it's the best way that we can get this message out to you. Thank you, Elizabeth. She says, thank you for another great hour. Yes, social media does suck. We think that it gives us something, but it doesn't. So I'm here for you on that. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. And let's see. As always, shoot any comments or questions. The more DMs that I have from you about ways that topics that you're interested in, things that you're struggling with, because you don't have to wait for me to be the one to generate the energy, but you can still share your thoughts on those things. I'm going to throw this up for you one more time before we close out. Stop waiting. Start generating it. Bye, everybody.